Hello and welcome to Greater Fayetteville. I'm your host, Robin Pitt, and today I'm joined by some esteemed guests that I'll let introduce themselves.
I'm Gary Rogers, Director of Marketing at the Crown Complex.
Seth, Benalt, General Manager at the Crown Complex.
We like to begin every podcast with a segment called Fave Faves. It's a hashtag that you can use when you're doing activities out in the community. We're going to start with a couple of shout outs were given during the last episode. And then I'd love to know afterwards what your favorite activities in Cumberland County are. It could be anything, restaurant, activity, sporting event. We're going to start with Daniil Gwen. Please forgive me if I don't pronounce that right, but he actually asked us to have the crown. He wanted to hear about the crown. So we're making his dream come true today. We also have two Michaels, a Michael A. Wilder II, who said to check out UA Rise Flag Football, a high school league flag football. And Michael Thomas said Melvin's by the Riverside is a can't miss. That's a can't miss I hear in barbecue, so.
I literally went there last week. It was fantastic.
Really?
The fried pork chops were really good.
You're selling me already. Did you have anything that interests you in particular that you feel like everybody should give at least one try in Fayetteville?
You know, I think for me, I'm a big history buff, and there's so much history about this community. And the fact that Cumberland County was founded before the country was even founded. And I would encourage people to, learn more about the community you live in. Food scene is wonderful with the diversity we have here. I love a good meal. And also anything that I can do with my kids. We don't get a lot of time away from the office, but when we do, we like to try and do stuff as a family. So eat good food, learn about the history of our community, and, have some fun family activities.
You're dead on about how much diversity there is here for you to do and eat. Did you touch on your favorite? I don't think it was Melvin's.
No, well, I mean, a fan of that. Seth hit it right. We do have a great food scene, as they say. And one that I've noticed has becoming more popular, and don't want to share it all the time because I don't want to wait for 2 hours, but Cucinera, which is the Filipino restaurant on Legion Road, man, they are incredible. But, not unlike Seth, I have an 8-year-old, so family events, sports, he's really into basketball, baseball. So obviously getting involved, not only him playing at the many parks and great venues we have for youth sports, but obviously coming to the Crown, the Marksman, our Fayetteville Liberty, things like that. He loves Harlem Globetrotters. He loves all of that. So good family fun as always makes a good day here in Fayetteville.
And that's such a major part of our community with there being so many transient families. If you haven't checked out the Fascinate You Museum before, great children's museum. I would recommend that for everybody. For our next part, we did a little bit of research and we saw the Crown opened in 1997. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
With that would mean 2027 is your 30-year anniversary. Are you planning any special celebrations that you can share a little bit of detail in?
Sure. So, again, in 1997, that would have been for the Coliseum and the ballroom, with the expo opening about 10 years prior to that, and the arena and the theater opening in the 60s. So, yeah, we don't have anything formalized just yet, but we are looking to build some opportunities for us to engage with the community and celebrate it together, because that is the purpose of the Crown Complex and all of the entities that make it up, is to service the community in a diverse fashion, bringing a quality of life component to everyone that lives and visits the area. So we will no doubt work with Gary and our great marketing team to come up with some opportunities for us to engage and celebrate with the community in multiple ways throughout that time frame.
Well, that's exciting to know that there's something in the works, and everybody can definitely look forward to this 30-year anniversary. If you're not already tuned into what the Crown is doing, where can they follow or check you guys out to keep up with it?
The easiest thing you can do is become one of our Crown Insiders. So if you go to crowncomplexnc.com, our Crown Insiders get first access to not only the shows, the before they go on sales, all of this stuff and information that we send out, or follow us on any of our social media. The goal is obviously the Crown it's the communities. So obviously having them kind of be a part of it, be aware, engage is obviously the biggest thing we can ask of our community, and show us the support, and obviously the feedback will always help us to make sure that we are fulfilling the desires of our community, as well as exciting opportunities for people to come in and see what Cumberland County and Fayetteville has to offer.
That does lead me to our next part of the renovations. There's a lot happening with the Crown, not just the magnificent shows that people can tune into regularly, but a few updates. I know this is a project that is still in development, and there's only so much information you're able to share, but whatever you're able to, people would love to know.
Yeah, so we know that what we're talking about here is the Crown Theater and Old Crown Arena that exists on the one side of the complex. And the county is looking at renovating those facilities. That process has just begun, and the county has selected a architectural firm to work on the design and concept of the project, and they have a new owner's rep as well. And they have just begun the process of looking for a construction manager for that project. So unfortunately, that's about the only information we can give at the time, because the design phase hasn't started yet of what it will mean to renovate that facility. But, we've been told that it is looking at a complete overhaul of the facility to become a first-class venue, not only for the artists that come here, but for the community as well. So for someone who's been here for 10 years and going to and working events in that venue for the whole time, it's very exciting for me to think of what possibilities could happen with that location, and it should be really exciting for the community as well.
Without a doubt, I am already looking forward to the amount of growth that has been happening in Cumberland County, especially in relation to the convention spaces and ballrooms and event space that is available within the Crown. I can only imagine how much better our community is going to get from that. I would love to know, you have had a busy spring season, obviously, with so many different events coming in, from comedians to the Christian cheerleaders, which we assisted with recently, to the Fayetteville Liberty's first game, and so on. What is the secret to balancing all of that? Because that is a lot to handle, and you guys make it seem so seamless.
We work in an industry that is fun, and that's what we tell the team all the time. We get to help people celebrate their best days or events that they've looked forward to. And so it is a lot of work. This is not a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We do work nights, holidays, weekends, 60, 80, 100-hour weeks sometimes. And with 5 separate venues at the complex, to your point, like this past weekend where we had 3, 4, 5 events happening simultaneously, that happens a lot. And it takes organization, it takes structure, discipline, most importantly, communication. That's where Gary and his team come into play, effectively communicating. And I think they just won a nice award for that.
We did.
With the public, it takes our team communicating with themselves, and it takes us working with our clients to understand everything that's happening at the complex at any given time. But, as I mentioned earlier, that's what we're here for, to provide the most diverse volume of entertainment we can for the community, to keep that quality of life component up for the community here in Fayetteville. Gary, do you have anything to add?
Seeing the fact of it is, the marketing is one section. We may start 6 months to a year out. That begins that process. Honestly, within a day or two of the show, everybody else, obviously with our operations, the planning that goes into it. Seth, and not because I'm trying to get a raise unless you want to, does a great job of giving the opportunity for everybody to shine in their roles. But it's a teamwork thing. There's so many people behind the scenes that you may never see that without them, it wouldn't be possible. But just a lot of support. And like Seth says, I enjoy going to work every day. So if you enjoy going to work, you're not going to be upset about it. And we have a great team out there. The people are very good at what they do. Long history, hundreds of years of experience. Not that they're that old, but experience between all of the different groups. So it's fun to watch the puzzle pieces come together, and then the show itself is that masterpiece, and we're always excited about it.
Well, I'd love to speak on behalf of the entire community and say thank you for the work that you and your teams are able to get done. I mean, like you've said, it's no 9 to 5, it's no typical job, and it's a lot of work, but it being fun is what makes it that much more special to witness. To know that it's fun on both sides, both for the person who's able to attend and for the people behind the scenes. Let's not brush past this award here that was that was briefly mentioned. Can we hear a little bit more about it?
So we were nominated with some other great individuals at the Chamber's annual awards banquet this year, and the Crown was honored to receive the Best in Communications award. We have so many different avenues that we inspire to reach not only our community, but people outside of our community to introduce them to shows or opportunities they may have to come enjoy Cumberland County and Fayetteville. We're obviously growing. As any marketing knows, it changes every single day. The algorithm literally changed 2 seconds ago, so we'll have to figure that one out as soon as we get back to the office. But so trying to explore not only different avenues of reaching our community and people outside of our community is always a challenge. But we have an incredible team. Anna, Cheyenne, they do an amazing job. And so we are constantly trying to make sure that not only the little over 300,000 people in Cumberland County, but the millions of people in our surrounding areas know about the opportunities that Fayetteville and Cumberland County has for entertainment.
Well, Gary gave a nice politically correct answer there. I'll say that, I'm really proud of the work that Gary and his team have done over the past few years because I tasked that department a couple of years ago with reinventing itself and getting more engaged with the community on a grassroots level, getting out to all these wonderful community events that we referenced earlier on in our discussion that happen around the community that have nothing to do with us, but allow us exposure to the wonderful people of the community. And to get more engaged on social media and use what once were non-traditional forms of advertising and engagement, because we really feel like that's where the world is headed in that direction. So the fact that they were able to, in an industry that had always kind of been lather, rinse, repeat with marketing initiatives, to get out there and try different things and do different things and engage with the community in different ways and get that feedback and reassimilate that into new marketing plans. And then to have an entity like the Chamber recognize and acknowledge that. And they were up against some other great entities, and for them to win, again, I think is a nice feather in their cap for the efforts, because we tell the team all the time, get out there and make mistakes, because that's how you're going to learn and grow. And this didn't happen overnight for them. It did take, time to get to the point where it was functioning more productively and more organically. And again, to be recognized for that, I think reinforces to them that they're on the right track. And hopefully the community sees it that way as well. But if there are opportunities that we're missing out there, just reach out to us and let us know. And we'd be happy to engage in those advertising opportunities as well.
I already had a deep admiration for the work that I knew of on a surface level at the Crown, but now I have a newfound appreciation for everything that you guys do, especially coming from a marketing world. But even the people who are helping to set up the event, I don't think people fully understand just how difficult, from operations to setup to marketing, that it can all, just one snag along the road can really throw things off. So again, thank you for what you guys do.
I think one of the most impressive things that I think people forget is the turnaround. So if we have a concert one night and a hockey game the next night, that's a big endeavor to get that ice ready, and it's honestly, it's like watching an orchestra happen as far as the process goes and the breakdown and stuff. And And I'm impressed by it every day. And I go, "Do you see how fast they turn?" Or you bring a whole bunch of dirt in there for monster trucks or arena cross. That dirt's got to go somewhere so that we can have hockey in a couple days later. And that's a fun process. I say fun from my office. I'm pretty sure the guys downstairs don't think it's as much fun, but still.
Yeah, logistically speaking, and I know earlier we were talking about kind of like the life timeline of an event. In some ways, my job and Dorothy Straley, who's our assistant general manager that I work closely with, our jobs are easy. We go out, we find the events, we book the events, we work with promoters and agents and local community entities. But that's just the beginning, so the event is booked. Well, now they have to get with our great team in the ticket office and figure out if tickets are going to go on sale or not. If it's a catered function or food's being served, they have to get with the hospitality team, get all that worked out. A lot of that is being overseen by the great folks in our events department who kind of link all the different departments together. And then the back of house, you have the folks in production worried about sound, light, video, as well as the operations team that are figuring out not only how that individual venue needs to be set up for that event, but what is that timeline and what does that play look like that Gary was speaking to earlier of getting from one event to another. And that's where we say we almost are a 24-hour operation, because if an event ends at 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, for the next 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8, 10 hours, we have crews in the buildings prepping that particular venue for the event that's coming in the next day. And with 5 venues, there's always something happening, and then you have maintenance going on behind the scenes, So then you get the venue ready for the event. Well, then you need all the staff that's going to come in and work the event and make sure everyone understands what's happening, from parking, security, guest services, medical, so on and so forth. And this whole time, Gary's team is working behind the scenes trying to market the event and make sure that people know to come out. And so it really is an interesting world where there's always something happening. And, we always say if you have an event and you didn't have a problem, then you didn't have an event. So there's always going to be problems, and we work our best to mitigate those or diminish them as much as possible. But we understand that, things do happen, and so we're always welcome to hear the feedback from the community so that we can grow and get better, because it really is a nonstop process. And as soon as we finish, we take 30 seconds to enjoy it in the moment, and then it's on to the next.
Absolutely. I think this is such an important conversation because people seldomly remember how the human beings behind each operation play a part in the show that they see, in the sporting event, in the dirt. What did you call it?
We got arena cross, monster truck.
Yes, everything
a lot of dirt.
And this is a little off script, but I'm sure people are wondering, when you have an event with the dirt or with the ice in there, do you sweep it out? I mean, how do you get it in and out?
It takes a lot of heavy machinery, a lot of dump trucks, front end loaders. It is not a small endeavor. And so, again, resources within our community that we work with. We have a big old pile of clay dirt at the Crown that we use for rodeos, bull riding, monster trucks, arena cross, anything like that. But yeah, it does take a lot of effort. We have a great operations team that works at the complex, both maintaining the ice as well as, general maintenance on the building. And nothing happens by accident. There's a lot of planning and coordination that goes into it. And it is a lot more work, but that's okay. The general public doesn't have to know about everything that happens. They just have to come, enjoy it, make some memories with their family and friends, forget about life for a while. I've said it a couple of times, the term is quality of life, right? Complexes like ours, venues like ours serve the community so that people can forget about their troubles and their burdens and their jobs for a little while. So while it's really fun and we're always happy to talk about and show people the behind the scenes aspects of how the Crown works, when they come to an event with us, We just want them to turn their brain off for a little while, walk in the door, have a little something to eat, hang out with their kids, their significant others, or their friends, and literally forget about life for a while. Go into that concert or that play or that sporting event or that seminar or graduation or celebratory moment, whatever it might be, and really, kind of like when you're in a great movie, just forget where you are for a moment. Because once you walk out the doors, all that's waiting for you again, you know? So while we love talking about all this behind the scenes stuff, again, it's really just, we like to keep that behind the curtain so that the people can enjoy the experience of the event itself. But again, we always welcome people if they want to learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do what we do. We're always here for the community. So if you have a class that you want to bring by for a tour, or if you're teaching a course in college and you think that our operation can help your students in some way, just reach out to us and let us know, and we'll see if we can figure something out to engage with you all.
Fascinating. And I'd love to know one more time, what was it that people could sign up for to stay ahead of what's coming?
It's called the Crown Insider.
The Crown
And you can
Insider.
find that on the Connect tab of the crowncomplexnc.com. And basically, and you actually can, if you're interested in country shows, rock shows, plays, family events, stuff like that, basically you can specialize. Last thing we want to do is spam people. But if you'll get an email at the first time shows are announced, you'll get the pre-sale codes so that you'll have access. And the Crown Insiders are the only ones who get the access to the pre-sale code. So we love that one of your favorite artists or entertainment is coming to our community, and we want to make sure you get that first access. Crown Complex NC, go to the Connect tab, Crown Insiders, and sign up today.
Excellent. Thank you for reminding me, because I have to make sure I've got my
Come on
insider
now.
in there. I'm going to use this quick moment before we get into the next segment to remind everybody that you can go to Visit Faye NC, and we can assist with any convention, any meeting, any sports tournament as well. We can, if you've got 10 plus room nights, you've got a large group, we can help you get into the hotels so you have a seamless process. Once again, that is visitfayenc.com, and you can follow Visit Faye NC on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest. Visitfayenc.com. So this is likely our last segment, and people are wondering, what do you see for the Crown in a 10-year span?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of exciting opportunities ahead, not only for the complex as an operation, but for the complex as an entity. There's been lots of talks over the last 6 or 8 months about how the complex can better serve the community. And I think a part of that is going to be growth at the complex. That will likely start with some form of renovation of the theater and arena side of the complex. There's been talks about aquatic complexes. Does that come by us? Does that go somewhere else? There's been talks about expansion on the expo side. But more importantly, I've heard talks about the area that surrounds the Crown and re-engaging in uplifting that area. So if you take from the Crown to the All-American Expressway, and the Crown to downtown, and the Crown to the airport, and so on and so forth, and draw a big circle, and what does that district look like? And what purpose can the Crown serve within that district to help elevate that portion of the community so that it's more inviting for folks that come out to the events, but also to lift the businesses and grow and engage new businesses within that community. So needless to say, that is not a light undertaking. That is not a single stroke of the pen type of project. It's also not an overnight change. That will be a 5, 10, 20-year type of project that will come in layers and phases. And as mentioned, we are at the infant stages of that right now. But I think for folks who really want to be a part of this community moving forward, and live sports and entertainment, I would encourage them to get engaged with their county and city and civic leaders and ask about, what's coming up for the public-private partnership development of a district around the Crown. And again, the answers don't exist right now, but those are the discussions that are happening, and it's exciting. And, I've been here for 10 years, and this community has grown so much in those 10 years that when we talk about what could our community and the Crown complex within that community look like in 5 to 10, 15 years from now, it sounds a little hokey to say it, but I really believe the sky's the limit if we roll up our sleeves and get unified and stop being divisive about silly things. Again, we are here to serve the community, to make lives better, to bring enjoyment, and we really want to make that happen for the community in new and exciting ways.
That gives me so much hope for the future of our community's prosperity and just how many things we're accomplishing. It's no easy feat, as we know, and it will take time, but having the people be active and engaged and informed along the way is going to make such a difference in how quickly and how well our community can be developed. I know that there are so many cities in North Carolina growing because we're one of the fastest growing states right now. And to know that Fayetteville is getting the positive effects of that as well means a lot from somebody who's been here for so long. How long have you guys been in Fayetteville? Are you natives?
So I said I moved here in 2016, so I just celebrated my 10-year anniversary this past January
welcome
to being a native Fayettevillian. And it's the longest I've been anywhere in almost 30 years of doing this. And I chose to stay here because I believe in this community and I believe that we can do something special here.
I was born in Cape Fear Valley. I've been here my whole life. And actually, I traveled a little bit out right after college and saw different communities across the country. And I remember how excited I was to come back home, and I'm a big fan. Actually, I remember the very first concert that the Coliseum had, and I still have a ticket stub from it. And so 10 years from now, I hope that as people are growing up and family experiences, obviously ticket stubs may not be what they still keep in their hand, but snapshots in their photos of the ticket stub from their favorite concert or a memory that they got to enjoy at the Crown.
One other thing that I'd like to point out, we live in a world where people now try to live local, spend local, support local. And I want to encourage people and remind them that the majority of the events that take place at the Crown Complex, regardless of the venue, are usually local events, whether it's the hockey team with the Fayetteville Marksmen that are locally owned and operated, the basketball team with the Fayetteville Liberty that are locally owned and operated. The majority of our concerts happen with local or regional promoters. The volume of community events we host, graduations, commencements, dance recitals, conventions, expos, different things like that. Please support these events. And it'll allows those promoters to grow and get stronger and bring more events to our community. So a lot of communities are not fortunate enough to have something like the Crown Complex in their backyard and to have that variety of events and to have local business people who risk their own personal wealth and well-being every day to bring happiness and enjoyment to the community. So engage with us, learn more about those events and opportunities with those events, and support as many of them as you can so that we can continue to have great events for the community.
You said it excellently. I have no notes. This is the conclusion of our podcast. Do you have anything else you would like to share with us?
Just excited to obviously be here on the show with all of you guys. Excited what Distinctly Fayetteville is doing for the exposure of our community, but just super proud to be a part of the Crown, to be a part of the community, and to get to play even a small part in hopefully memories that last a lifetime for many families.
And from my end, I would just say the same thing that I say to my staff, I say to my kids, get engaged. Be a part of the process. I hear a lot from people in the community about what's good or bad or problems. And that's great to have an opinion, but get engaged with that opinion. If you feel strongly about something, do your civic duty, join a board, and be a part of the resolution and be a part of the process for good or for bad. But there's so much going on in this community. We have so much to offer. There's great organizations like Distinctly Fayetteville out there that we work with on a lot of events. If this is something that you have an inclination for and you enjoy, then reach out to someone, ask some questions, get involved, and be a part of making our community a better place to live in.
They said everything that needs to be known if you're living as a local in Fayetteville or as a visitor. This is paramount. Get engaged and be involved, and that does include Distinctly Fayetteville. Again, you can access us at visitfaync.com. Find us on all of the social media pages at visitfaync.com, formerly Distinctly Fayetteville. And we will see you next time for some more phenomenal guests and all great things Fayetteville. Bye.